What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here.
Rick Ginn here.
And in today's video, we're going to break down the ultimate acquisitions 101 step-by-step guide today. We're going to break down exactly everything you need to know about acquisitions, how to actually close your sellers, talk to sellers, closing lines, the entire $7,000 closing course. We're breaking it all down today for massive success in your real estate wholesaling operation. We are on day 16 of the third day real estate wholesaling
Halfway
challenge.
through.
More than halfway through. And a lot of people are trying to get their first deal. They're getting so close. So this is so exciting, guys. And we're going to show you everything you need to know about acquisitions in your real estate wholesaling operations today. I'm excited. We're going to break down everything on closing sellers and exactly what to say. So if you're ready to go, learn exactly how to close your sellers for massive success in real estate wholesaling operations, do us a favor and smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment below your questions, and we're here to help you out. So without further ado, let's get that intro.
Let's do it.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Come on, guys. How does that not jack you up today to get going in real estate wholesaling and change your life together? We're here. We're ready to go and showing you exactly ultimate wholesaling acquisitions guide, guys. This is a 3-4. I mean, this whole challenge is probably worth 20 grand, but I'll say this one's probably worth 5 grand for acquisitions training. Most people got to go to a 3-day boot camp, spend $3,000-$4,000 to learn the stuff that we give absolutely for free. It's ridiculous, the amount of people that try to sell this information, and we give it all absolutely for free. So without further ado, let's break down our ultimate wholesaling acquisitions guide today. We're really excited to bring this one out today, guys. We got the whole nice thumbnail here. We're going to break down how to close sellers, everything you know about that. So without further ado, let's break it down. So today we are breaking down the ultimate acquisitions 101 guide today, step by step. We are on day 16 in the challenge. So this is really exciting. Really going to break it all down today. So today, officially, we are going to break down how to go from a qualified seller to a signed contract to get the lowest price from your seller when locking up a deal. Honestly, we're going to show today exactly how to do it. I'm pumped up. I'm so excited to help everyone out today, and this is going to be a game changer for a lot of people out here. So basically, we're going to break down the 4 pillars. We kind of went over this yesterday when it came to qualifying sellers, but we just want to kind of recap what we talked about yesterday, right? So what are the 4 pillars? How to qualify sellers? We have to qualify sellers before we actually do it. Like I've always told everyone, we're not trying to do acquisitions or closing on a seller that isn't qualified. So what are these? Again, motivation, condition, time frame, price. We went over our entire scripts on this. So we got to break down, how the conversation works when it comes to talking to a motivated seller, right? I mean, the conversation changes so much between seller and just the type of seller. So what it breaks down, number one's tonality, right? In your opinion, like what is tonality when it comes to wholesaling and talking to sellers?
Tonality, it says a lot. Tonality is going to reflect what your intention, your passion, if you're excited about it, if you're bored, if you're not paying attention. Now, tonality can be picked up on the phone for you guys doing it virtually, but like in person, like it's everything. So tonality is how loud you speak, how soft you speak, how slow you speak. There's so many different ways to do it. If somebody read you a book that was complete monotone, you would fall asleep probably in 5 minutes. I know I would. So tonality, by stopping, speeding up, slowing down, it is a huge part of it. And the funny thing is, Most of you guys, you don't even notice you do it. It's just the truth. It took me 4 or 5 years to figure out tonality. So if you want to really start to recognize tonality, just look on how you like talk to your family and communicate, and you'll be shocked. And like a lot of family likes to speak loudly and aggressively. You have to be aware of it. And so sometimes when I've noticed when I was first wholesaling, I got excited around like the negotiations part, and I talked really fast. And I tried to get through as quick as possible. And I'm here to tell you, you could actually do the opposite. Slow down, create tonality, create some suspense. Tonality is everything. We can't be mono about everything. So you can have a script and you can read it perfect. If the person takes that same script, basically turns it into conversation as tonality, you guys are night and day. And that's how I can sum it up.
And it's the truth, guys. Like, your tonality is going to be very important. We like saying here on the channel, especially talking to sellers, especially closing deals, you want to be a chameleon with the seller. And I think this is the first thing you got to understand when it comes to acquisitions 101. It's being that chameleon. And what does a chameleon do? And I know for people that you might not know this, but I think a lot of people connect with this. If you ever played Pokemon and you know the Pokemon Ditto.
I'm out.
Okay. Ditto is
Pac-Man.
Ditto is an Italian word for basically the same, right?
Okay.
Oh, Ditto, right? You know the word Ditto, right?
I know Ditto.
Okay. There's a Pokemon. His name is Ditto, and he's a pink blob. Okay. And basically that Pokemon can turn into anything at once. So if the Ditto sees like a dragon,
We talking about real estate
yes,
at all here?
no,
Okay.
it turns into a dragon, right? And you think it's a dragon, but really it's a pink blob. The reason I say that is because that's what you need to be in wholesaling, a chameleon. So for example, I'm talking to a seller, right? This is all about tonality, right? And I'm talking to you. So you be the wholesaler, I'm the seller, right?
Okay.
And be like, hello, hi, I'm calling on a sign I read, or are you looking to buy houses?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I have a house I'm looking to sell.
Tell me a little bit more about the house.
See, like, do you see how the way he's talking about it? And if I called them and said, hey, hello, hey, is this a sign?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to match the tonality. You're going to be a chameleon. You're going to match the person. Now, do it to a point where you don't sound fake. You know what I mean?
You can't be like brutally obvious.
Yeah, you can't be like mimicking. But like if someone's just being like kind of slower or chilled out, maybe like a more chilled out version of you, but like not a chilled out like imitation of you. Most people, you guys, absolutely suck at acting, kind of like me, where I can't act as like somebody else, but I can kind of mimic like a more excited part of me or a more slow down part of me. It's just the way someone's talking. You want to match them out. And you actually kind of see it the way you're with friends sometimes. Like, have you ever like, this, like you have friends that are like super excited, super energy all the time. And
I got a lot of friends like that.
And that brings your energy like that, right? And you deal with people sometimes that are like very slow and tired. That kind of matches your energy, right? And that's sort of the way you got to do it. You just got to match them. And that's sort of where we come with tonality. It's the way you say words. It's the certain words you say, but tonality is very important, guys.
So like, so start with the basics, like speed of tone. So listen, if someone talks fast, you talk fast. They talk slow, you talk slow. I will tell you, if you're a fast talker, kind of like me, it's painful to talk slow. It's hard. And you have to practice you have to practice within your own home first before you do it with sellers. But the key to all this, guys, is you still got to be authentic doing it. Some people speak faster, some speak slower, some speak louder, some speak softer. So just start recognizing it, and it will help you with your conversations.
Oh yeah. Hands down, guys. So the next one here is like posture, So it's the posture you have when talking to a seller. I think one really important one is like, all right, you're talking to a seller and they want to sit down. You're ready for close.
Yeah.
Sit down with them, right?
Yeah, it's a weird, I'm telling you, if your seller wants to sit at a kitchen table, sit with them. I prefer to stand personally, especially when I'm at someone else's house, because I don't know what I'm sitting on. And I'm more alert when I'm standing. But if they sit, make a conscious effort to sit, because you got to understand when someone's sitting and someone's standing over, especially for you tall guys like me, you kind of, it's intimidating to them. So you want to get down on like their level, and I kind of let them dictate what they do. If they're sitting on the couch, sit on the couch. Like, just don't be like freaky about it. If like they're crossing your legs, I don't think you need to go quite that far, but see, if I sit down, I'm at the same eye level with them. If I'm standing and they're sitting, and here's what I used to say, I go, man, I've been driving all day. I just prefer to stand. Remember, it's not about you. It's about your seller.
So. I agree. There's one thing you guys got to understand too. Next one is word timing is everything. I think it's the way you say the words, the say you do closing. When you get in the closing lines right now in the future a little bit, you're going to understand what we're talking about when it comes to like word timing. But the timing you say the word is almost more important with the word you say, right?
100%. And the hardest thing about word timing is knowing when to stop talking.
I agree.
So, yeah. Like, have you ever had a confrontation with someone or just negotiations, and you say, listen, basically I can give you $100,000 for the property. And then they don't respond. They don't even like move their head. They just stand there like a statue. And those times you have to wait for a response, because if you keep talking to fill that uncomfortable void, you're not getting any more information, and you're actually making it more stressful on yourself. So, sometimes silence is a very, very good negotiator for you.
I agree. And the last one, last couple, don't blame your sellers regardless of what they say or think, right? Some sellers have terrible, they want like crazy high prices. Maybe they say something mean to you. Don't take it personally, right? It's like, I've always said, as long as your mom thinks you're cool, that's all that really matters. And, never attack or talk bad about your competition with your sellers. I don't think this isn't talked about enough, but like talking bad about your competition is never going to get you anywhere, right?
It doesn't put you in a good light, and you're just going to start like an argument.
Yeah.
So it's, I always just bring it back to the seller or bring it back to me, and how we can create a win-win situation. And you just let the other competition do all the smack talking. And if you don't, you actually look like a hero, because honestly, you don't really know that much about your competitor. You don't have all the information. You just, listen, if you go with me, I know I can give you the best outcome, but the decision's with you. I used to fight it when I first started, and I'm just telling you, it doesn't work.
I agree.
The worse you talk about them, the worse your odds go down.
Oh yeah. So let's kind of break down some of the secrets to wholesaling sales success, right? Number one, you must have a belief. You have to mentally accept a statement in which you hold true to yourself, right?
Correct.
I am going to help the seller, right? I am going to help people out. I am going to be successful, right? Belief alone is not enough to be great at sales. It is not. Confidence, your script, right? It all comes down to a multitude of things. But if you have confidence and you can take action, you're going to be good when it comes to closing a seller.
Yeah. Your belief is just your opinion. And the problem is, a lot of people, your belief, I'm here to tell you, a lot of the world does not believe in what you're doing in wholesaling. So you're going to be shot down a lot out there.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to have to gain confidence, and you have to find a way to anchor in your belief. I've been through this. We've been through this in detail.
Oh yeah. I'm just telling you guys, you have to do that. A great salesperson must have conviction. Just FYI for everyone, you must have conviction in your soul. You truly believe that you can help the seller out. It will help you so much. You must have conviction. Now, just understand, guys, too, that an unwavering confidence in your belief is going to be your conviction, right?
Yeah. Conviction is kind of like your defense on your team.
Oh, yeah.
You go to work on offense, and your conviction's there to defend what you believe in. I know it's the right way. And guys, here's the deal: is I've given you a 20-year history of the belief. So the belief works. The question is your conviction going to hold tight? Because I promise you, there's going to be blitzing linebackers. There are going to be people trying to pick you off. They're going to try to take you coast to coast. I'm just telling you, and it never stops. The question is, do you want to let them in or not? That's where you have to confide in yourself. Are you confident what you're doing? And is it unwavering? Means that's it. I'm getting to the other side of that river no matter how I have to get there. Getting there is not an option. How I get there, debatable, right?
I agree. It's the secret, guys. So remember, guys, your conviction will make up for your deficiencies, your confidence. If you're sometimes nervous talking to a seller, if you have the conviction in your soul, it's going to help you so much. The person that cares the most about helping their seller will be the buyer, will be the person who gets the contract. This is a truth about real estate wholesaling that we cannot stress enough. If you care about your seller, legitimately in your soul, their situation, their problem, you will become successful. It's the ones that don't, the ones that are trying to make that quick buck or that contract, they're never going to be successful. You have to care more about the seller's interests than they do. This is a complete, like, this is stuff you guys got to understand.
It's kind of a crazy statement, but it's true. How many sellers have we helped out over the years that honestly, like, I don't understand what you're doing, and in the end, you find out they're getting ready to lose the house, or they're not going to get anything, or they're going to get like pushed out. And sometimes we got to go, listen here. I once, ready for this? It's a true story. I'm going to make a short version of this. I had a lady, she had 46 cats. I am not lying on this one. I wish I was lying about it. The house stunk so bad, I didn't even want to go in. My eyes were burning. I talked to her. I said, man, you got a major problem here. There was no carpeting, no nothing. Cats running wild. They cut holes all in the house, and they had a wild field to run through. The deal didn't work out. I just kept following up through it, and I just looked at her. I go, listen, you need to get out of this house. And so I said, do you have any family members? She said, yeah, I'm so close to my daughter. She's in Gainesville. She gave me her daughter's phone number. I'm telling you, I wasn't even worried about buying the house because honestly, I didn't even know what the hell I was going to do with it. I called her daughter. I guess, have you visited your mother-in-law? She goes, it's been a couple of years. I go, do me a favor, get in the car, come down and visit her, and call me when you're here. She goes, why? Is there something I need to know? I go, your mom's got like a bit of a cat issue, but I don't have a problem with the cats, but your mom's like, I think she's getting sick from all the cats. Yeah. So I found out because when I went there, my eyes burnt so bad, I got sick for like 2 days, and it was the ammonia that was soaked in, and it makes you sick. Anyway, she came down. She goes, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I didn't know it was that bad. I go, listen, I just felt bad. Well, 6 months go by. I don't buy the house. I kept her on my follow-up. I went by and dropped off a little thing of cat food. It was like $8.
Yeah.
And I put a note on there, say, just thinking about your cats. She was so tickled. She called me. We met again. I didn't go near inside the house. And she goes, my daughter told me I need to sell the house to you. What can we do? Long story short, I bought the house, but then she threw me another obstacle. She got, you got to help me relocate all the cats. I'm just like, 46 cats. And honestly, I found someone that was very good with animals. They took 3 months, got most of the cats taken care of. Well, and then when I got the house, I offered them the land value of the house because it was so bad. I figured to knock it down. The house was so bad. I didn't even want to wholesale it. I was horrified. I took it to my title company. There was an attorney in another room, overheard my conversation. He says, I'll buy it. We sold it in 3 days. I made it a huge fee, but like, I didn't want anything to do with it. I thought the house should have been knocked down. I'm not into fixing houses or crap, but what I'm telling you is, what was my moral of that story I got on it? It was,
you got to help the seller out.
The thing is, she didn't know she needed help. And honestly, I thought I was going to walk away and not get a deal. But because I said, listen, do you have a family member? Guys, if your mother was living in that conditions and you knew about it, a normal human being is going to fix it. So you have to care more about your sellers than they care. I can't tell you how many people I've helped out of situations like that. And honestly, I walked out of there, I'm not buying this house. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. I have a lady that's basically dying from these cats. And I looked it up, and like, she was losing her hair and all this other stuff. Her daughter goes, oh my God, I didn't realize this. And the daughter like hugged me. She's like, that was the nicest thing you've ever done. I go, I'm just trying to help someone out that needs need. And guys, it all started by me calling somebody off of a list, meeting with them. And it took a year from head to toe, but I'm just telling you, you have to be willing to help your sellers out. Sometimes they can't see it. Hence, you guys have sellers right now asking way too much money for a house, but the house is like in dire straits and a problem. Those people are going to have a day of reckoning probably in the next 90 to 120 days. So keep them up with the follow-up. And if you guys can understand how to identify helping your sellers, because they can't always see through it. I've had people right up to the day of auction trying to collect $50,000 when I'm like, dude, just take the $5,000 and move on with your life. You're going to get nothing.
Yeah.
So help them out. Sometimes their ego is bigger than their problem, and it takes a bigger person to help that person out.
I agree. Some people just wait till the last month. It drives me crazy, but yeah. Remember, guys, sellers will actually feel and connect with your conviction while confronting their own beliefs. That's no one usually say, but it's 100% true, right? So let's kind of break down, the appointment, right? Us talking to the seller, getting the deal done, right? The acquisitions one-on-one type thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So guys, remember when it comes to the appointment, right? The seller and how does the appointment start up, right? How does that actually work? Well, first of all, you have to agree to meet the seller at the property and or do the virtual appointment, right? We're going to set up a time that works for the both of us so we can have that success on that appointment, get the deal under contract, right? Like that's what the appointment is. What is the goal of the appointment? Let's break down what the goal of the appointment is, right? Number one, yes, right? Like if we can get a yes on that appointment on a price and we get a deal, that's best case scenario, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want, right? A goal of the appointment, right? No, we're going to get a no. No, I don't like this price. No, we don't have a deal. That's actually good. I'm not calling it bad, right? A no is actually,
I'm
what?
fine. It's an answer,
right?
Like it's a result.
It's a result because you're not going to get them all. I've told everyone, if you guys watch baseball, basketball, football, any sport, right, that you like, golf, right? All right, let's do golf, for example. Hey,
I'm not good at golf.
People like golf, but like, let's say Tiger Woods, one of the greatest athletes in golf, right? Phil Mickelson, like all these guys, they didn't win every single golf tournament, right? If they won like 10% of them, that's like huge, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at NASCAR. Let's look at basketball. I already showed you. Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, had a shooting percentage of like 45, 50%, right?
Yeah.
That's unheard of, right? Michael Jordan missed like more than half his shots in basketball because his field goal percentage is like 49% or something. So it's like, you're not like the greatest. They don't get it every time. Like I'm not 100% on all my appointments. There are appointments you just go there that you got to go in person, just try to sell them. You just don't sell everyone. Like the greatest salespeople tell you all the time, you don't have 100%. If you have 100% sales record, either your price is way too low, right? Or you're not talking to enough people. And that is the honest truth in this business. You guys got to understand that. You don't want to be 100%. But what is the worst, right? Yes or no, right? What's a maybe? The worst possible scenario on an appointment is a maybe. Okay. We do not want a maybe. A maybe's bad, terrible. The worst case scenario is you get a maybe on these things.
Because maybe means you're no closer to yes and you're just as close to no. So it's like maybe's your number one stall tactic. And I'm going to be honest with you, is your biggest problem when you guys go on appointments. And it's a stall tactic. And when you get a maybe, you've got to go back and look about your entire procedure when you do an appointment. Because if you got a maybe, it means you left the door open. And it's no big deal. You just got to figure out how to shut it. Because after a while, I promise you, when you get 15 to 30 maybes, you'll be like, okay, I need to fix this problem. Because everybody keeps giving me the maybe. Maybe means you're the backup to the prom date.
Oh,
if
God.
this guy doesn't ask me, I'll take you. You are the backup. So I want you to, when you hear maybe, you are being used 9 times out of 10. There are some rare exceptions where maybe is legit.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it is an all-out procrastination stall. I'm going to put you on the sideline. And then if he doesn't ask me to the prom, I'll consider you at the very end.
Hey.
You do not want to be the standby. You do not want to be in the friend zone here. I'm just telling you.
No.
Unfortunately, you have to, like, if they don't want to sell the house and they're just using you for another offer, wouldn't you rather know it up front? I used to get upset when people said no to me. And like, it took me a long time in my career to understand. I go, they're actually doing you a favor.
Oh yeah. It's the maybe, guys. We're going to show you in this video too, exactly. Switch this over.
Okay.
People got to see it. How to get rid of the maybe, because we have never gotten a maybe in probably the past year or two, just because we've made huge shifts in our operations.
It took a long time.
It took a long time. And guess what? Most people have to spend millions of dollars of guru tactics, lose millions of dollars of like wholesaling assignment fees before they learn this lesson. We're trying to give you millions of dollars worth of information absolutely for free.
Maybe it's torture.
Because what I've said today, guys, is like we have a crazy changing economy, economic conditions in the future going on right now. And this is not the time to be paying $10,000 to learn acquisitions, right? We're going after the free stuff, right? The stuff that we teach every single day. The government list, trying for dollars, reverse trying for dollars,
you mean
foreclosures.
The stuff that works?
The stuff that works.
Oh, okay.
The probates, right? This is not time to be spending $10K on an acquisitions course. This is why we're giving away a $5,000 acquisitions course so you can use that money and actually save it for your family, right? So let's break down before you go on the appointment. Let's kind of like, we're learning acquisitions right now. Let's sort of paint the picture right now. You know, before you go on that appointment, what must you do to get rid of that maybe, right? You must what we call condition the seller. Okay. This is called conditioning the seller. What is conditioning the seller? Condition the seller is basically doing an upfront agreement before you go on that property. So basically the script for conditioning the seller is, before I come to the property, I just need to ask you a question. Okay, sure. What question do you have, Zach, right? Well, basically this is what it is. You know, before I come see the house, I don't want to waste your time or my time. I'm usually very, very busy, and I usually only come look at the property once, you know, maybe even twice, but I'm usually very busy. So before I come and actually see the property, I want to have an upfront agreement with you that you're ready to make a yes or no decision on selling the property when I come on Tuesday to go see the property. Is that something you're willing to do? They say yes, then you're good, right? The truth here on conditioning the seller is you're basically asking the seller for an upfront agreement to make that decision on selling the property or not. What's your, like, we kind of both say it a different way. I always say usually I'm very busy and I only go to the property once. So before I go on, are you ready to make a yes or no decision on selling on this day so we can get the process going? Because I see a lot of properties and I cannot buy every single one.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Like, what's the way that you usually say it?
I do the same thing, but I kind of throw in there to make sure all the decision makers are going to be there. Make sure all the people are present that are going to make a decision on it, because there's nothing worse than getting to a property, pitching like a husband, and then the wife's not coming home till later that night. And then the reality is the husband's going to give the cliff notes of his versions of your presentation, and it's not going to be good. And you're going to have to come back and do it all over again. So I'm just make sure you got the right people there. Like, here's a little tactic. It's tough when you got 4 or 5 people that show up to an appointment, like family members, and you're the only person and you're a little inexperienced. You want to know that going into it, because it's very flustering when you think you're going to meet one person and 4 show up. Yeah. Especially when you're new to this, it's very overwhelming. I remember just like, I was like flabbergasted, because trying to control 4 conversations is painful. Oh yeah. 1 is hard enough, guys, but like 4 in the beginning. So know it going into it, and then at least you can prepare for it. And you know, I'm going to do some homework and find out kind of who's in charge of everybody showing up, type of deal. So yeah, like in a perfect world, if I knew there was 4 people showing up and me and Zach were just running the operation, we'd probably go together, because 2 on 4 is better than 4 on 1. Yeah. So I just add knowing the right people that are going to be there. I agree. And for you guys, for the ladies out there and stuff like that, make sure that you're meeting with the property owner. We live in a crazy world. Just make sure if John Smith's on the deed, you're meeting with John Smith. Like, when you start getting other people in the play, you have no idea what's going on. I just don't want you guys to walk in a vulnerable situation. There's some weird people out there. If it doesn't add up, like, take note to it. So, and then obviously, just get your pepper spray on you too, you know, or there's other options out there. That's, you're laughing. When I go on appointments, the first thing I do when I walk in, I look at when I went on appointments, I look to make sure I knew every escape route before I connect. Oh, trust me. I've had some very, very, like, you guys are going to look at some very sketchy houses. Very sketchy. The aluminum foil on the windows, the boarded up windows. And the one thing I notice when I walk in, I'm okay with the door closing. I'm not okay with the door locking. Yeah. And if I hear that door locking, we are not on a sales call anymore. We are on like let's break free, because I'm just here to tell you guys, pay attention. So I'm always be, that's for anything though. I like to be close to a door, because you don't know these people and you got to be careful. Although you vet it and do everything, I'm just telling you, use common sense, guys. I've been on thousands of appointments. I've never had an issue like that. I've had some weird ones. I've had people make me nervous. I've had people make me nervous, but I've always been safe. But I've always had safety equipment on me. Y'all should have safety equipment, even if it's like, pepper spray or something, right? I got attacked by a monkey once. Yeah. True story. Yeah. That's Port St. Lucie. I've never had a monkey attack me. Can't make it up. Those monkeys are scary. They can rip your face off. You have no idea what these things can do. Was it a chimp? It was one of those small.
Yeah, it's one of the little
monkeys.
baboon ones. Yeah,
And the guy said when he grabs your ear, do not pull away.
Yeah.
I'm like,
the
and when
chimps
it grabbed my
scare me.
ear, it was like the most powerful man. It was this tiny little hand, and I've never been so scared in my life.
The chimps are scared. Those things scare me.
No,
'cause
I'm
those
not going to
things
a house with a chimp.
oh my gosh.
That or like, remember the guy's house we went with all the snakes?
Oh yeah, that was scary.
A little freaky.
But yeah, that guy.
Snakes were roaming around the house like they were pets in open cages.
Those chimps gonna
Snakes freak me out, man.
Chimps are gonna take over the world one day.
I've
We got to
seen
be careful.
pigs. I've seen lots of ferrets.
Yeah.
I've seen small gators.
Yeah. I mean, regular Florida stuff, you know, it's
only in Florida.
yeah, regular Florida stuff. But just FYI, guys, it's very important, you know, just general safety. You know, you're going to somebody's house, you don't know them, right? Like, just be safe with your things. You don't have to have pepper spray, but like, just have it on you. You know, like I always tell everyone, like common sense. Like you're walking on a major downtown, like in a popular city, just like have common sense, right? One thing, like don't go on an appointment after like the sun setting, right?
No,
like
no.
I never do that, right? Don't go too early in the morning, too late at night. I usually don't meet up someone at a property after like 5 or 6 o'clock, unless it has to. Just this is very common sense stuff. But I think the most important part is you have to make sure all decision makers are there when you're doing the appointment, even when you're doing virtual wholesaling, which we have a lot more virtual wholesaling, like appointment type stuff at freewholesaling.com. But one thing you got to understand is you have to make sure every decision maker is at the property when you go in the appointment. So when you're conditioning the seller, you want to make sure all the decision makers are. What do I mean by decision maker? How do you get a maybe on the deal, right? Number one, they're ready to make a yes or no decision. Here's the biggest problem, right? I go meet Rick at the property, right? Rick is married. If he says he's ready to make a decision, he said, yes, I'll sell it to you, Zach, for 150. I bring the contract out. He says, well, I can't make it right now because my wife's not here. So this is a maybe, right? Guess what a maybe is in wholesaling? The worst possible outcome. So you need to do your due diligence. First of all, if I'm on an appointment with him, you see this right here? That's a ring right there on his finger. We gotta watch out with that. That means he's married, right? That means in most states, like in Florida, right? Unless you have a prenup
It's
or
like
something
an ear
like that.
tag, right?
I guess so.
I like how the cows have it dangling off with a number.
Oh my gosh. But it's like unless you got like a prenup or something like that, most likely, unless you own the real estate before you got married, like in the state of Florida, like it's very, very hard to own something separate when you're married like that.
Well, they both parties have to sign the deed. They don't have to sign the contract.
But look at the deed.
They have to sign.
There's usually like a Rick Ginn and then like a Rickalina Ginn, right? Like there's two names on it, and usually it's a female name or a female and a male, or like maybe a male and a male, female name. Like if there's a John Smith and then there's like a Robert Santos, it's like, okay, there's two owners here. And usually you got to figure out like, hey, are they married or are they like business partners, right? Like you have to make that decision. And this is stuff on the rapport building process. So like I said yesterday, we're gathering information, right?
Yeah.
Hey, are you the owner? Who's Robert Johnson here? Who's that? Oh, that's my business partner. This is a rental. Okay, well, can you tell me, is he going to be at the appointment too? Right. You guys, you have to have all decision makers because they both have to be ready to make a decision. I've had deals implode on me. And I've had deals do really well with me. Let me give you two examples, and then we're going to get into it more. I have a deal once where it was a married couple, and I built really good rapport with the husband, and the wife kind of felt like she was out of the loop. And she told the husband, you don't sell to this guy. I don't like him. Because I didn't build enough rapport with the wife. And this was like when I was like 18. Fast forward, one thing that really helped me was I was on this really, really interesting deal. Remember that house in Port St. Lucie? It had the, I don't know how to describe this the right way. It had the, I don't know. I can't say this right way over air, but like it's the baby blue house that's now, it's the deal that like you thought it was worse, but it was better. I'm trying to explain this. It was kind of on stilts. That made sense. It was on like a weird foundation. We bought in Port St. Lucie a while back.
Oh, the modular?
Not that one, the other one, the wood frame one, but like it was on a weird thing.
Yeah.
That deal. I actually had it on a vlog on this channel. Yeah, that one.
I remember it.
With that married couple.
Yeah.
I went on that appointment. I was, I think 19 or 20. I think I was 20. I went on that appointment, okay, and talking to the seller, and it was a husband and wife, right? And the one thing that I figured out pretty fast on there is that they were teachers. And I'm just giving you FYI. What I learned on this is I'm not getting political, but I'm going to give you an answer here.
But you're going to get political.
I'm going to get political, but not political. So this is just stuff you guys have to understand. You're going to like it or not, but it's just, this is how I got this deal. This was a $60,000 real estate wholesaling deal. Okay. Personally with me, I'll give you my straight up political affiliation. I am a member of the Wholesaling Real Estate Party. That is my political party. I'm affiliated with Wholesaling Real Estate, and that is what my politics are. When it comes to, I'm not going to give my political, I don't really care to a point. I care about making money in my business, and that's honestly what I like too much. I'm not going to get political on y'all. But that being said, I pull up to the house. It's comical because I make fun of both sides on the political aisle sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I'll send you like a crazy car of like something. We're in Florida. So I pull up to the house and there's 2 stickers on the car. And they're like, I think they're like super pro Democrat on it. Like there's like a million stickers on both cars, like peace signs.
Yeah. You can see the handwriting on the wall.
Like I'm not saying, but like I go to appointments too where it's like super Republican, right? They got they got all that too, but like it's I can't even say the word, but like all the stuff, right? So I know and they had signs in the yard, right? Like so they are very, very pro one side of political aisle, right? And so guess what I do when I'm talking to the sellers? There's some I can't really say it to a point on the thing, but like there was something that came out that was pro whatever party that was in the news, right? And I just said, hey, did you hear about this? Like, that's crazy, right? And I just brought up in conversation. Oh my gosh, I totally agree. I totally agree with you too. I was pro whatever political they were on the appointment. And guess what? That built a lot of rapport, okay? And that helped me a lot. Now, between you and me, I didn't really care. Like, honestly, I don't. But it helped me so much on that, right?
Yeah.
They're teachers, union people, right? I talked about how great unions are with teachers or whatever. You know, I ain't the union guy, but it helped. I built so much rapport with the seller there. And the one thing at the end of the day, I had such a low ball price and they were considering, because I built that much rapport with the seller, that they're like, oh, I don't know. We're really going to have to think about it tomorrow. And I was about to lose this deal. So what do you think I did? I had all this rapport built, right? Guess what? I said, you know what? And they're like really stressed over like, think about it. They didn't want to say like talk about this to each other with me in the room, right? So I did, you know what? I got to go make a call with my partner about the house. I know you said you have to think about it, right? This was an old sales trick, right? They said this is what happens, right? I think I have to think about it tomorrow and I get back to you tomorrow. Guess what happens? Time kills all deals, right? So what I basically said here is, well, let's break this down because they're both teachers, right? You're going to go to class tomorrow, right? Do your teachers all day, right? You're not going to be able to talk about it, right? And they're going to get back. It's going to be 5 o'clock. You're tired. You're going to eat lunch. You're going to go to do it, watch a movie. And then it's like 9 o'clock. And then you're going to have like 15 minutes to make that decision. Then you're going to call me, right? They're like, yeah, that's kind of true, right? You know, because, you know, they're teachers. They get a full day, right? They work hard.
Yeah. Well, most people that sit on a decision 24 hours, they don't do anything.
No. They don't do anything. So what they're going to do is they're going to go. So they're going to leave. They won't talk about it. They'll sleep on it, right?
Yeah.
Wake up, go to work. They're tired, you know, take a nap, eat dinner, meet with each other, watch a movie, and go to bed. And they wake up the next morning like, oh, shoot, Zach called me, right?
Yeah.
So I told them that. They're like, that's kind of true. I'm like, so let's do this instead. I got to make some calls out in the front. You guys talk, and you just let me know. And we'll get all the 24-hour thing because I can't come back to the house. I said, okay, that makes sense. So I leave. You know, I actually take a picture of the car because it was really I've never seen, like, that. It was 100 stickers. I'm not joking. Like, I don't care what political thing you are, but I've never seen 100 stickers. Like, every inch of the windshield, you couldn't even see out of it because it was all stickered up. I thought it was hilarious. And it was pretty funny because I went there and they came out. They said, yeah, we can come back in. They're like, yeah, we made a decision. We're going to go with you. Boom. Right? Like, I think that's one thing you got to understand when it comes to closing. It was just because they needed that space and they gave me that objection of, I need more time. And I really broke down, what are you going to do in the next 24 hours? And they're like, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, this was an old sales tactic from, I think, a Zig Ziglar book right here. One of those old books that I read. And it helped me so much in that deal. And it all comes down to mirroring the seller, helping them out in their interest. But like, this is something that I said. And let me just tell everyone straight up about acquisitions. I know you say you can't, right? Like if guys, I go to a house and I know it makes rapport, right? So like I've had one deal too where I've gone there and it was a Cowboys sticker, right? And I think it was after the Cowboys just, the Cowboys are Cowboys, right? And I just said, oh my gosh, it's tough. I literally just said this out of the blue, Mike. That was a tough day Sunday. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, the Steelers destroyed them, right? Like, oh my gosh, yes. And then we just went over, but we talked about this Cowboys, right? It's just stuff like that. That's the way I kind of like the political thing. It's like you're a Cowboys fan. It's like, I'll never tell somebody I like the Cowboys. But I don't like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to you. You're just trying to get the sale.
So you got to understand, like people always ask me, Rick, what are your limits in doing a wholesaling deal? Listen, I'm not going to risk my life. I'm not going to change my integrity,
I'm
my
not going to
morals,
lie.
but like honestly, I don't care what your political affiliation is. Honestly, who's ever president, I'm going to walk this loosely.
Oh gosh.
It doesn't make a difference to my day-to-day life.
It's
like,
not. It's out of your control.
Once I put a vote in, I'm done, guys. I don't sit here and sweat about it. I got to wait 4 years to fix it, and that's it. But like, I don't spend time. I don't campaign for people. And honestly, if your relationships are defined by like political affiliation, life's very short. So we once had an acquisitions person because someone was an opposite party. He says, I can't cross that line. I can't connect with them. I'm like, you're willing to lose your job like over
that person didn't last very long.
Is that crazy? I've never honestly, I don't care. Like you want to like, hey, listen, you're a Democrat. You want me to I'll do it. I'm still there's good in Democrat. There's good in all sides of parties. We're people. How we became on like different teams on this is ridiculous. Yeah. You guys know my affiliation with the Miami Dolphins. If I got to talk about the Cowboys or God forbid the New York Jets, I'll do it. We can agree just the Jets are a terrible team and they're just never going to go anywhere.
But the thing is like use it to connect. Is like you don't have to lie and say you're a Cowboys fan. Just say like I'm a Dolphins fan, but I watch it. Yeah,
enjoy the NFL. But what I'm saying is if you can use these natural connections, it kind of gives you a cheat sheet to not spend 20 minutes trying to build rapport organically.
And the last one is like, I'll give you one last example. We'll get more into this, but like, you just understand like, this is the type of stuff when I talk about rapport that's like unsaid. Like you go, so like, for example, I remember appointments I used to go on. I used to see a golf set, right? Like a golf set, golf balls everywhere.
Yeah.
Hey, have you hit the links in a while? Just say that, right?
Yeah.
Legitimately that man talked for 45 minutes. And this guy, he was an immigrant from Jamaica who's only been in the country for 5 years and is just selling a house he bought.
Yeah.
I couldn't connect with the guy at all. Like pure Jamaican, right? Like it was hard for me to connect with him, right? He talked about golf for hours. Like he could talk about golf he just loves golf. Jamaican guy. Connected with him so well after that, right? And it worked, it was a natural connection, right? And that's just the stuff, like the little stuff on an appointment that you can do. It's going to help you so much.
And guys, keep in mind, when you walk in someone's home, there's so many clues. It's actually easy.
Oh
I had a gentleman, this was way back. I was training one of my acquisitions, but this is well before Zach was in it. And we walked in the room and literally he walked me in a room. Every inch of the wall was covered with some sort of firearm. So guess what question I asked?
Be careful of that word on this.
Yeah. I go, you must really enjoy this. And he didn't come up for air for an hour and a half. He sold me that house like such a good deal, never questioned it. And like he fought me on the phone. He fought me at the front door. And as soon as we got into like his room of his hobby, he just couldn't stop. So guys, listen, do people like to talk and brag about themselves? They do.
Oh, yeah.
It's built into every human.
It's their favorite person. It's their favorite person.
Your favorite person. So
let them talk about their favorite person.
If you can let people brag about themselves, oh my God, dude. It just, they'll create natural endorphins and it puts them in the right mood. If you have a qualified, motivated seller for you to be in the right area to buy it at the right price. But without that connection, you're nothing more than like an order through McDonald's. And if you treat it that way, if the guy or gal is going to go with someone who pays the most, you might as well just go to MLS because we are not here to accomplish that. So use the natural connections and Honestly, walking into someone's house, it's really easy. Now, I also, guys, when I'm walking up, look at their car. He talks about bumper stickers on cars. I guess people still do that, but you can look in their car. You can see a bag of golf clubs. I'm not talking to open the door. Just look. A lot of times people have stuff on their dash. They'll have a license plate. They'll have their favorite college team, their football team, their basketball team. It's all once you have this stuff, it just opens the door. I'm like, oh, I see you like the Celtics. Like the guy goes, oh yeah, back Larry Bird, and they just go on for 20 minutes.
That's the little stuff that you just got to understand that like it's hard to put that on a PowerPoint, but this is the little stuff that people ask why we get 30, 40, $50,000 deals is because we do the little tiny things that no one else is willing to do. And in a changing market like we're at right now, which nobody talks about this isn't in your guru's course. This is why we go live. We don't do courses like this. We connect with you what's really happening right now. That is the stuff that's going to get you success in this business. And even when markets change, deals are being done. So let's break down conditioning the seller. We're going to break down the closes, but like before you go, so let's talk about the appointment, right? I talked about this a lot yesterday. I kind of like piggybacking today though. You know, when you walk around the house, point out things of concern. I said concert there, whatever. But like act like you're buying a car. This is what I said yesterday. You know, everyone gets freaked out going to the appointment. Act like you're buying a car. What do you like? You don't pretend like you're an expert on expert mechanic, but you know generally how it works, and you just ask questions, right? Build rapport, and then at the end of the conversation, right, you get to the closing, right? Mm-hmm. That's it. They want to sit down and just talk about it, right? That's what you're going to do, and that's how you get the deals. Okay, that is the way to close it, right? So let me give you a quick pro tip. Okay. This is like very, very little language stuff that's super important. How you say words that will subconsciously help you out. Now, I don't know if we're talking about psychology or sales, but this is for acquisitions, right? Actively hint on the appointment in the conversation. Words like, you know, when I buy this house or when we get this house or stuff like that. I'm telling you right now, woo, it's powerful, right? Just little subconscious stuff showing that you're going to buy it. It puts in their mind that, hey, these guys are going to buy it. Right?
Yeah. I mean,
that's it. I'm getting a lot of comments, you know, some link they're saying is blocked. Let me know what links are blocked, but someone's complaining about something. I don't know what's up with that, but Johan, let me know what you keep talking about in the comments. Everyone keeps spamming there, but interesting.
Yeah, well, how did all the other people join if it's
how it works? Just go to the Facebook group. And if you can't get in the Facebook group, you're probably the guy that's trying to sell a $200 course to everybody and I block you. So I always do that. Let's talk about the 4 ways of actually closing a seller, right? There's 4 ways on here. Okay. So we got pro tip. We've kind of explained this. Actively hint to the seller, right? That you're going to buy the deal. When I buy it, you know, the process of in 3 weeks, we'll send you the title, right? Stuff like that. So let's break down the 4 tactics. I don't really say this the right way, but like these are the 4 closing lines when it comes back to sitting back to the seller and getting the deal done. Number 1 is the low ball, right? Hey, Mr. Seller, you know, after looking at everything here, I mean, how much are you looking to sell the property for? And they'll say, you know, blank, you know, they won't say, oh, you come up with the price. This is probably the worst type of closing line, but this is the low ball, right? The low ball works, but it's not the most effective way because you're not really getting through the sales psychology role of explaining why you came up with that decision. You're just lowballing them, and there's a chance to get kicked out of the deal, right?
Yeah.
Oh, how much are you going to sell the property out? Low ball for like 50K, you're not going to do well, right?
Well, low ball worked when I started, but dude, I had no guidance. I like there's not a lot of people was wholesaling it. I figured out, but I overpaid for most of my properties when I started out wholesaling, just like most wholesalers do, because they don't know. So just going and lowballing, the problem is you risk like just losing all rapport and being kicked out of the house. So you seem like a vulture when you do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And when you insult somebody, it's very hard to get their trust back. So
I agree. So that's the low ball, guys. Not the best one. It's just literally when you low ball the lowest price you possibly can, try to negotiate from there.
It's not, and especially when you do it with no tact or style, it's cheesy.
Yeah.
And everybody knows about it, and you are not. And a lot of people are like, oh, I just cut to the chase and go for it. Let me know your results because I already know what's going to happen.
Exactly. Number 2 is the good cop, bad cop approach. So let's break this down. What is the good cop, bad cop? Good cop, bad cop is when you're coming in and you blame the other bad cop for the reason you're giving the offer. So, for example, I'm trying to go on here and I say, hey, I'm looking to buy the property. It's kind of like a trial close, right?
Yeah.
The way you guys got to understand is the way that we do our sales, the way we do our closing lines. I do it different than him. He does it different than me. But the coolest part about this is we get the same result, right?
Yeah.
And that's the way around it. It's just we get the same exact result. So what is the good cop, bad cop? Hey, Mr. Seller, we're looking at the property here, and I was telling my partner Rick, and he's probably closer to like 100,000 for the house. He told me. And first of all, two things are going to happen. They're going to say, "Oh, that's way too low. I'll never take that. Blah, blah, blah. Get out of my house." But hey, that's what Rick said. I think it's crazy.
Yeah.
You shift the blame off to him. Have you ever watched a politician? They're masters at doing something bad and then shifting the blame onto somebody else. They've been doing that
really good at
for.
Right now.
Oh my gosh! All right.
In general,
I'm just in general. That's what politicians do. They've been doing it for 300 years. That is,
I know.
and they know sales very well. That's what elections are, sales. And you got to understand, if you can do that for your sales for wholesaling, it's going to do very, very well. So that's how I do the good cop, bad cop. I blame the bad stuff on him and the good stuff on me. And it gives a happy medium. Right? Oh, I can't do 100. I'm like, well, what can you do? And then meet in the middle, right? It seems logical.
It's like telling a joke and saying, I'm just kidding. Like you do something, you go, oh, I'm just kidding. There's truth to element of it. But what happens is it lets you try it. But the purpose you do it really is to get a response, either positive or negative, so you can adjust your trial close.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. It's just
so when they light you up, you're like, no, I didn't think so. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to defend your honor. I'm thinking, well, no, but I could do 110,000. They're like, okay, well, let me call my partner. I'll find a way to make it work.
I agree. That's the good cop, bad cop. The next one's kind of your favorite. It's like the volley method. So how would you do the volley method?
So the volley method it's actually a simple technique. I learned this in another industry. So I'd like to tell you, I'm just telling you it works. It goes along the theory is if you can overcome any type of seller or prospect's objections, if you can overcome the first two objections, your odds of getting a successful outcome go up tremendously. How do I know this? Guys, when you guys go out and try to get probate lists or code violations or water shutoffs, what happens? They try to shut you down instantly, right? And maybe some of you are brave enough and you go back again. And they go, no, I'm sorry, you'll have to meet with the city attorney. And then the reality is most of you guys just give up and move on. If you take me and Zach's training, you have to get past the second objection. So this is how it works with the seller. Mr. Seller, I've looked at everything, and I tell you what, me and my partner can offer you, we can get you the $100,000, do a quick close, and that'll get you onto your daughter's house, and it'll work out well. What do you think about that? And they just kind of go, well, I don't know. And then I'll go back to them like, seller, I go, what is it you need to get for this house? And I'm just going to shut their mouth, and they're going to go, Rick, I don't know. They do know. They're just procrastinating and they're stalling you. So you got to give them permission. So now I got to overcome them twice. The previous objection doesn't count. Hey, John, if you knew the price to sell your house that would make you happy to walk away, what would that number be? See, all I did was take the question, rephrase it. I volleyed it back over the net, and I'm waiting for a response. Now, what do you do when you play tennis or if you're playing ping pong? You're waiting for them to serve it back, and you sit there. And then a lot of people, they're going to respond to you by saying, well, that number's just too low. I can't do anything under $106,000. If you get that, then you know what to do. You either make a decision to move forward or get out like it's not going to work, or you follow up. A lot of times they go, Rick, I don't know. I can't even think of it. I'm going back again. You have to go back twice, guys. So listen, Mr. Seller, I know you don't know, but if you had to ballpark what you and your wife needed to get to move on for this property, what would that number be? And then they just feel like, dude, this guy is never going to stop asking me this question. I might as well just answer it and get it over with now. That's what's going on in their head. So when they do it, 90% of the time, if you overcome two of the objections, they will spit a number. It doesn't mean you're going to get the right answer, But the idea is sales is a progression. And if you can walk them down that funnel to get a yes or a no, you've done your job. If you get a maybe, you didn't answer enough of their questions, or you didn't connect with them enough, or a combo of the both. So do the volley method. It works really well. I didn't come up with it, for full disclosure. I took it from another industry. It works well. Overcome 2 objections. The easiest way to overcome someone's objections, and guys, do not practice this on your girlfriends or wives, because I don't need them calling me saying, Rick told me if I overcome 2 of your objections, you'll do what I need you to do. Just take the question, the statement, repeat it, and then add an extension on what would it take to get it done.
Yeah.
You don't even have to think about it. Practice it. It works amazingly. Do not try it too much on your family, because after they hear it a while, they'll know exactly what you're up to. But it works very, very well in wholesaling.
Yeah, I love the volley method. It's definitely the best one. Then you got like the seller first method, right? You just ask the seller what they want first. You don't really have to volley too much. That works too. And then you kind of lowball, get the lowest price, least price you can. I say this on lives all the sneaking time, but at the end of the day, like, how much do I figure everything out for? Like, all the comping stuff's at freewholesaling.com. Like, everyone, like, if you want to figure that out too, we kind of done a little bit too on the challenge, but like, your goal for wholesaling isn't to get the perfect price or like calculate and then get it perfect, right? You're all guesstimating to the end of the day. I'm going to say this, and not a lot of people are going to like it, but like, real estate is guessing to a point. You're never going to be exactly perfect on the right purchase price or what the value of a house is. The value of a house is what someone else is willing to pay for it. It's not like the stock market where you get to the cent the value of something, right?
Yeah.
It's not. It's an imperfect market, not a perfect market. And that is something you guys got to understand. It takes a long time, but it's crazy. So FYI, so you got to understand that you have to guess to a point and get the lowest price out of the seller. And I always tell everyone's like, if you can get 10K over what your thing is and you're going to lock it up, most people lock it up just to see if they get a buyer that's higher, right? And that's the point.
I agree.
That's the point of wholesaling. You have no risk on it because you put the property under contract. You don't own the asset.
You do, but you
want to help the seller out though.
Guys, if you can get the best price possible, it makes your disposition so much easier, because you'll have, sometimes if you get too high of a price, it makes it easier for you to short run. And then you're going to have to spend, a ton of hours, 20, 30 hours, and have sellers give you the truth, have new buyers go, I can't buy it for that. And you're like, oh my God, I knew I paid too much for it. Now it happens every now and then, but if you see, if it's happening to you guys on a consistent base, you're doing wholesaling wrong.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, 9 times out of 10, when you can't sell your deals, the biggest problem is you just paid too much for it. Okay. And going forward, this is going to be a huge deal going forward. So we'll talk a little bit more about that.
That's what usually happens, guys. Just FYI for everyone, just wondering, the seller first method, stuff like that. Let me talk about the worst words to be saying. So don't say the I word. Don't say investor to somebody. That's never good for sales or acquisitions. That's a big no-no. Don't say that word. Use the word cash buyer instead. I don't know what that was, but all right. Don't use the word contract. So I don't know how this slideshow got weird, but don't use the C word, which is contract. Use the word paperwork instead. It took us a while to learn this, but like, don't say you're an investor. Say you're a cash buyer. Say paperwork, not contract. So many wholesalers out here, I do mock calls with you. You guys will watch all my videos and then you'll say, oh, I'm a local investor.
Yeah.
Why?
I'll say
investor has a negative connotation in the United States of America. Ever since 2008, it's really been like that, right?
Yeah.
It's been a very bad word.
You're one of the Wall Street guys.
Yeah.
Guys, don't use wholesaler, because honestly, most people don't even know what it is.
No.
And if they go and Google it, you're going to have a problem, because it's going to be negative. We didn't do it. You get the wrong people get a hold of it. And understand, like, when you hear a wholesaler outside of real estate, you're like, what do you sell stuff to Costco? Like, I don't understand. So they're never going to understand it. And if they do, they're going to Google it, and it's going to create all sorts of tensions. You ever have someone gets into like the sellers will get in the Google death spiral. When people start Google, like if you have a medical condition, all of a sudden, if you want to find like something matching your symptoms, I guarantee you can find it. And then you go down a rabbit hole and you'll have to answer 2 hours of questions
If I
about
stub my
wholesalers.
toe and I go on WebMD, it's going to say I have 2 days to live. That's usually how it always goes down. So it freaks me out.
You don't want to give me ammunition.
No.
Listen, you're a local cash buyer looking to buy a house in the area. Hopefully your house fits. Guys, I don't need to sum this up on like you always have to have some sort of takeaway in any sales process. Otherwise, you're just like, and if you guys, any of you got a dog, I have a dog. Like if you open any type of food, he's like begging at my, like he just won't stop. It's terrible. He doesn't even play it off. He's drooling. It's terrible. And you guys can't do that. You actually have to a more advanced strategy. Don't worry about in the beginning is just figuring out like takeaways. Like I have some other houses, I got to look at, we only have so much money to buy X amount of houses. If you bend over backwards for a seller, you are going to pay way too much for it.
Yeah.
Even the most motivated seller, you have to be kind of walking away mentally.
I agree. It's
you have
always
to
be closing, but like to always be leaving too. But like to a point, wholesaling is changing a little. We'll talk a little more about that in the future right here. But like you got to agree. And the last part is you got to agree on the price, lock it up, right? Get the paperwork signed, not the contract, that paperwork signed. Walk through the entire process after they sign it, say what's going to go on. We're going to give this to the title company. They're going to call you, figure out how you can get paid on the transaction because that's what they care about, right? And they're going to basically break down that you and your partner might have to swing by one more time because my partner's not here. Conveniently, the partner's not right here, so he has to come by and look at it, right? And they're usually okay with that. That's your out to get in to get the cash buyer out. Explain that, hey, if they go by, it's not going to change the price. We're not going to go freaked out. He just wants to see it, right? And then I've been saying this lately, just because we do a lot more renovations in our wholesaling business than we did in the past. Probably shifting a little more away from that currently. But like I always say, like, hey, I gotta bring a handyman through. My flooring guy, is that okay? Usually on a vacant property, they're like, yeah, that's fine. That gives you the in to go in here and walk the property through, right? And explain you gotta see it one more time before closing day, and you should be good. Always explain the process to the seller. It makes them feel a lot more comfortable with it once they understand the process. So that is, guys, our acquisitions training type thing. The reason why we keep it simple, because we like this business. The simpler you make it, the simpler it should be, right? Like this is no high stakes sales thing. It's just you're buying properties like for cash. Like that's it.
So a couple unwritten things is if you guys set a time, like now I wasn't in the military, but I respect a lot of people in the military. Is if you're not there 10 minutes early, you're late. That's just, do not show up. If you're supposed to be there at 4 and you show up at 4:10, you're so behind the ball. I like to go like a half hour early, drive around the neighborhood, and you will see things you never thought were possible. You'll see them out there like trying to pull that old beat up grill out of the back.
Yeah.
So you can see if they're making an effort. There'll be people that will spend 2 or 3 hours picking up their house, even though we tell them not to, covered in sweat. When you get there, it doesn't make a difference to us. But I can kind of gauge their level of interest. I can see who's going to be there ahead of time. And I can see when they're looking at one area of the house, I already know what the problem is before I get there. So guys, being on time. And then when we set up the expectations in the front, sellers are very unwary of what you're doing. They're like, okay, you know what their biggest question is 9 times 10? How long is this going to take? I'll tell them, because we're probably going to take 45 minutes to an hour with your permission. Yeah. And when you do that, I go, okay. And then I always tell them, even if I can't buy your house, I'm going to help you out one way or the other. I just tell them I'm going to help you out. Maybe I got to refer them to a realtor. Maybe I got to get a contractor for them. Maybe I got to get a welfare worker for them. But one way or the other, I'm going to help them out. So they go, if they dump all that information on you, and they will, that you'll at least have enough experience to offer them some sort of solution. Hopefully it's you, maybe a combo of you and some other assistants. Or maybe it's just another party and you just move on and do the right thing.
Exactly. So guys, that is acquisitions 101 for us. Let's answer a couple questions really quick here. Hair Trigger Gaming says, first live made it. I'm in New York. Does that matter? Yes, you're going to have a lawyer. I definitely want to look up some forms for you to understand how the process works. Talk to some attorneys. How you can wholesale in New York, though, fine. You're just going to have to use attorneys. No title companies there. All Things Real Estate Wholesale says, hey, everyone, drum roll. Thanks to Zach. I am getting their first contract signed today.
That's awesome.
Hey, that's the best way. That's the best excuse not to come watch the live, right? I gotta go get a contract signed. I love it. Woo!
And it's recorded too, so you can watch it on
Oh
your
yeah,
own schedule.
that's the point. That's the point why we record these two. I'm getting asked, on market or off market. How do I find off market deals? If you're asking that question, you just need to go to freewholesaling.com.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the honest truth. Freewholesaling.com, FREE wholesaling.com. If you're asking that question, you definitely just need to go to freewholesaling.com. I know a lot of gurus are always tell you, oh, do the on market's the best thing since sliced bread. These people don't understand wholesaling, and a lot of them can't prove wholesaling to you, and most likely they're selling you a course on it. We're not the biggest fans of it. One last thing, Steven has a question for Rick here. Off topic, what kind of probate cases in Florida should wholesalers be focusing on? He's working on 2 types right now.
I don't know what 2 types you're working on. To be honest with you, I don't go
one, right?
Yeah, I don't go deep in the weeds. You need to look at open probate courses that actually people have real estate associated with it. That they like almost half our probates don't even have real estate associated with it. So sometimes people just don't have a lot when they pass away. And that's the biggest challenge is sorting through it, because in the beginning I made the mistake of marketing everyone, and boy, do people call you when they don't own real estate, when you offer to buy the real estate that they don't actually own, because they think they're getting something out of the blue. So you're looking for active probate cases in the last 30 days that have a real estate associated. How do you figure that out? You have to cross-reference it to your county appraiser site. That's kind of the simple version. There was one other question up there right in the beginning. Somebody asked, I saw one of Rick's videos that said, if I don't have the cash to buy the house,
I'll find it.
You're committing fraud. Let me clarify this, okay? When you guys enter in the contract, from the eyes of the law, you enter into a contract, you are entering in with intent to pay cash for a house, okay? I didn't make these rules up. It is what it is. The reality is, if it's not your cash, you're using your end buyer's cash, which is your cash buyer, then you need to get a proof of funds from him. You also should back your stuff up with either a private money lender. It's not that hard to go out and raise money. You can get a hard money lender. You can qualify for a regular loan at a bank. Yeah, I did that in the beginning. It just
qualify, not get a loan.
You have to qualify, because the problem is,
first of all, you said qualify, not get a loan. Qualify.
You have to qualify for one. So the idea is, worst comes to worst, if you had to close up a property, if you had to present yourself in the eyes of the legal world, you just can't write contracts with no intentions of ever closing on it. You're going to get caught eventually.
At least get a cash buyer that you intend to work with for it.
Correct.
At minimum.
So the purpose of that is to basically set your game plan up as you're doing it or before you're doing wholesaling. Because if your intent is never, ever to close on a property, I'm just telling you, there's going to be challenges that come along the way. And you can either do a JV deal, either you do it with me and Zach, or you do it with someone else if it makes sense. But your deals have to make sense. Okay. And you should always have a walk away and inspection period under contract. I just don't want someone to go out there and understand you will be challenged on your ability to fund the deals, and you need to know how to overcome them before they come up, because there's nothing worse than spending hours with a seller and they agree to a great price and everything. And they go, well, how do I know you can buy this house? And then you're like, oh my God, I didn't figure this part out yet. And that's the challenge you want to do with it. So it doesn't mean you have to have all the money. The idea is to have the resources to be able to do it. Now, any of you guys can qualify for hard money, transactional money, private money, soft money, regular bank financing money, or maybe you have like personal assets, something like that. That's all I'm saying with it, because if you ever got challenged on a very difficult seller and you've never closed on a deal, or you never had the ability to close a deal, you could be susceptible to a fraud case. So I'm trying to give you the truth. Most gurus will never even talk about this. They completely go, don't worry about it. I'm just saying, understanding if you had to defend yourself, you actually have to have a way to show that you would fund the deal. If you have no plan, it's not going to go well for you. So
I agree.
I just rather you be prepared than being ill prepared.
I agree. So we tell everyone that, but yes, that is technically the truth. So one last couple announcements before we get into it, guys. If you want to JV with us, still www.flipbook.com/JV. Make sure you get the www on there. And one last thing, guys, I already told you, you got to subscribe to the Flip with Rick YouTube channel, the Zach Ginn YouTube channel, the Rick Ginn YouTube channel, and the Wholesaling House for Real. If you don't Flip with Rick, I'll show you how to follow these. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we're doing some new stuff on here that I think you guys will get. One really cool thing I want to show you. So first of all, quick announcement. Everyone, thank you for 40,000 subscribers on the Flip with Rick YouTube channel.
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
That's quick.
That took a while, but pretty quick, pretty cool, right? So that is that. So enjoy that one. So if you go here to the channels tab, so a lot of people watch this mostly on the Flip with Rick YouTube channel. If you go to the channels tab here, right, you're going to see help support our other channels. These are our 3 other channels that we try to support that is exclusive content. So you got the Zach Ginn one, the Rick Ginn, and then for the Facebook group, we do clips on the Facebook group on this one too. A lot of guys want more content with stuff like that. So on the Zach Ginn YouTube channel right here, on Monday, I'm going to release basically some original content on here that is going to be pretty cool. But the big one here is going to be on the Rick Ginn YouTube channel here, where we finally got the systems in place here. First of all, I get little shorts you got. Pretty cool. A lot of these are just uploads and podcasts and stuff like that. But one thing on the Rick Ginn channel, which we are doing, which I put the link on here to get on the Rick Ginn channel. Rick, you are doing an exclusive video on the real estate market crash, upcoming type recessions, what to do with it, how to wholesale during the situations. You released an old video, which you kind of re-uploaded on that channel for you guys, but this is a new one. It will be released on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday. But
I think Monday it's going to be released. It's going to be big, guys. I want you guys to go on the Rick Ginn YouTube channel to go watch that. Search Rick Ginn. Flip there's going to hop on. You got to scroll down a little more or go to that little tab there. Rick is doing a video, which we recorded. Just got to edit it out. But like, we're breaking down what's going on in the economy, what's going down in the future. Interest rates have risen. We want to show you exactly the right things to do. First of all, understanding what's going on in the economy right now. Exactly explaining how this is probably going to be the greatest opportunity for most wholesalers or the worst opportunity. It is up to you on which opportunity this is going to be for you. Either this is going to be the greatest thing that's ever happened in your life or the worst thing that's ever happened in your life. And there's only 2 things we figured out that is going to show if that's true or not. If it's going to be the worst or best. It comes down to the knowledge you have, right? And the action you take. And that's it. So if you go doom and gloom and you do what every other guru and every other person does in wholesaling, you are going to get destroyed. You're going to leave wholesaling and you're going to let the new 18, 19-year-old kids who listen to us be successful, and they're going to just destroy you because they're going to do the stuff that works.
Yeah. Guys, check out this video on Monday. I don't hold back, and I'm going to tell you what I did back in 2008 to not only survive like a housing meltdown, but to actually thrive. Guys, the data coming out right now, it's honestly some of the most disturbing data I've seen in my lifetime. I've been on this planet 52 years.
Yeah.
I was through the 2008 crash. We had a bubble because the mortgage industry did ridiculous things. And I'm here to tell you, this one has the handwriting on the wall that's so much worse.
And every guru and their mom is saying that the economy's fine right now. Now, guys,
everything's fine.
You're getting told from every guru that everything is fine right now because how are they going to sell you a $10,000 course if they tell you that you need to save your money, actually take care of your family, and actually use that money for wholesaling marketing? No, they can't, right? They need to sell you that $5,000 course. They're going to tell you everything's fine unless they have to lay off their workers, which they'll do in the future. Just FYI, everyone, your guru is telling you everything's all fine and dandy.
That's what you have to do to sell courses. And they don't sell courses in an extreme down market. I'm here to tell you guys, check out the video Monday. I don't hold back. I'm going to tell you how it is.
Yeah.
Be careful where you're getting your information from. It's not a question if we're going in a recession, guys. We're in it. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm just telling you, it's going to push back on real estate hard. There's the unemployment once these companies start laying off their staff.
They are. Redfin yesterday laid off 10% of their workers. Redfin, due to slowdown in home sales.
So all the real estate industries, the tech industries.
Well, tech gets hit first.
So they're all in the boardroom right now. They've made the decision to, ready for this, 15 to 20% of their staff across the board. Most of these companies, because the easiest thing to cut is payroll. It's going to mean layoffs. Unfortunately, the end worker is not going to know this till the last minute. Usually they're getting ready to go out to dinner on Friday night. They're going to get an email. Companies don't even pull you in the HR. They just fire you over emails now. And I'm just telling you, all these people have mortgages. They have rents. 70% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. And what was the stat? 66% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So it takes time. So when's that going to hit? In the next 3 to 6 months, you're going to see it everywhere, and it's going to wash in the economy.
So guys, this is not to scare you.
It's
this means in wholesaling that if you push it hard, there's going to be more deals than you could ever imagine in wholesaling. You might get less profit per deal, but I'm telling you right now, you like Rick, he made almost more money before during the crash than before the crash, because you get way more deals out there. The problem is, though, you're going to make less per deal, which you got to focus more on the buyer. The sellers are going to get a lot easier.
Yeah.
The problem is, historically, 10 to 18 months after a stock market crash is when real estate falls on behind. And that is statistically. Now, history doesn't.
You're in month 2.
We're in month 2.
You could call it even month 1.
You can call it 4 if you really wanted to, but like it's 10 to 18, right? History doesn't repeat itself. It rhymes. It's definitely rhyming hard right now. So just FYI, guys, this is the greatest opportunity ever to get into real estate wholesaling. It's the greatest opportunity ever. You can make more deals than you can ever imagined. Focus hard on the cash buyers. We go live after the challenge, right? But like, we're going to be going live 4 times a week, and we're going to tell you the pulse of this industry, guys. We're going to help you out.
Yeah. And guys, keep in mind, like, what you think. Here's the problem. It's just like the stock market. Like, if you go to buy a stock today and you compare to what they were 2 or 3 months, you'd think it's a deal of a lifetime. You have that same problem in real estate now. Like, the stuff seems attractive because it's sometimes 10, 15% cheaper than it was a month ago. I'm here to tell you, man, you haven't even seen it get knocked off yet. It's just eventually when that inventory works up, sellers are going to have a choice. They either have to discount the property.
Yeah.
Check out the video. I'm here to tell you guys, like, a lot of you go, well, he knocked $10,000 off of it. I'm like, I'm here to tell you, dude, nobody's coming to save these people.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to suffer in this. But guys, the worst thing you can do is buy a marginal deal right now, because it's not going to get better. For the last 10 years, most wholesalers are speculators, and their inadequacies have been covered up by a rising market. You do not have that luxury anymore. Okay. Watch that video Monday. I give you 3 things that you have to do to survive the market. They're simple, basic, but I'm telling you, if you've been doing wholesaling in the last 10 years and you got lucky, God bless you. I'm telling you, you can't do that going forward. I tried it in 08 and I got killed for a year, and I fixed it.
This is an easy formula, right? If home transactions are slowing, like Redfin CEO said, and interest rates are going up, what do you think is going to happen, right? Like it's so Rick's going to have the video on Monday. It's going to be really cool, guys. Check it out. I'm doing my own analysis on it on the Zach Ginn channel on probably Thursday next week. And it's going to be basically the same info, but he gives his story in 2008. I'm kind of giving more of the data, what's going on right now, how to dominate with there. But guys, this is not to scare you. This is not to scare you guys. Okay. This is to show you the opportunity. You're going to have to shift, but in a way that we're talking about. Guys, we've been stressing about government lists, free lists, guerrilla type marketing for a very long time. And when the gurus tell you to go spend $5,000 on a course, and then the SMS text blast costs $3-4 to do that, skip trace the big list and just hire a team of 50 people, they're not going to last. So guys,
those days are over.
Check out the video. We're here to help you out. We don't make our money selling courses, so I don't have to lay off any workers, right? Right. Like, we run an actual operation. We're going to make more money during a crash than ever. And we're going to show you exactly how we do it and how you can do the same thing. So we're going to hold your hand. We're just telling you the truth because we're not scared. Okay. We're making more money, so we can tell you the honest truth. A guru, they can't sell you on it. There's a couple gurus out here that own other companies that they're trying to go public, trying to make exits off of. So they can't save face of what's really happening, because then they can't sell their company for a 40x multiple and go public on it. I don't know if I should have said that, but like, the gurus are doing it for their agenda. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm not making money off of saying this. So check it out. Rick Ginn channel, Zach Ginn channel, subscribe to both, and then flip their channel. Always, we have the challenge going on there. So guys,
Just make sure you get the truth,
Yeah.
because when somebody tells you it's rosier than it is, it's usually because they have an agenda to accomplish something. So
And then I want to show one thing really quick, just for the people that are going to come back to the guru. The guru is going to say, Zach doesn't know what he's talking about, blah 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 blah. I want to bring down one. I want to bring down one quote. Okay, so the stock market's down because they don't believe in the Fed. This is a quote from Jerome Powell yesterday, the head of the Fed.
yeah,
Okay, this is one of the most
this is a scary one, man.
scariest quotes I've heard, and this is why we're very confident. Now, I'm going to FYI, I am not 100% chance that there's going to be a recession or housing prices come back. It's never 100%, but we have an educated guess on over 90 to 95% there is. It's never guaranteed, but like we see data like this, we have to bring it to. So this is the data. Okay, I don't want to scare you. This is a good opportunity for everybody, right? But just Jerome Powell, the Fed chair. The Fed plans to reset the housing market and raising the likelihood of falling home prices. So I'm trying to get the quote here from Jerome Powell, but he basically said it's not a good time to be a first-time home buyer. He said, oh my gosh. All right. He said, we saw home prices moving up very, very strong. He said this yesterday for the last couple of years. So Powell had to say we saw
down in the last quarter there.
We saw home prices moving up very, very strongly for the last couple of years. So that changes now. And rates have moved up. We are very well aware that mortgage rates have moved up a lot, and we are seeing a changing housing market. We're watching it and see what will happen. How much will it really affect residential investment? Not really sure. How much will it affect housing prices? Not really sure. Okay. Obviously, we're watching quite carefully. It's a very tight market, so prices might keep going up for a while, even in a world where rates are up. So it's a complicated situation. If you are a home buyer, somebody or a young person looking to buy a home, you need a bit of a reset. You need to get back to a place where supply and demand are back together, where inflation is down low and mortgage rates are low again. He is basically saying that we need a reset on it. I'm not trying to put him out of context there, but
hey, guys, understand this is one of the most powerful people in the world saying this. They can make it happen. They can click a button.
home buyers,
trillions on like a balance sheet. I have never ever seen the Fed say we need to reset the housing market.
First-time home buyers for cheaper real estate need to reset.
He basically said first-time home buyers, I would wait. And so I don't know, like I just read between the lines, like it just seems like he's trying to kill the real estate market. He's not even hiding it anymore. We're approaching 7% mortgage rates, not quite there, but it's on pace to it. And then who knows? He said he would do anything to control inflation. And the only way you can do that by raising interest rates. If we get up to 8%, I don't know, man. Guys, like when the chairman of the Fed says we need a reset, I've never seen such aggressive words. So
currently at 7.1 for a regular one, but like it's rising up. So guys, not scary. Check out the video, Rick Ginn, Zach Ginn channels. We're just breaking it down, guys. This is you're gonna wholesale, no problem. There's gonna be wholesale.
This is when you want a wholesale. You want a wholesale. You do the last thing you want to do is be a fix and flipper.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, like, I don't mean to freak you out on this, but like you guys with the Airbnb, especially the creative financing Airbnbs, boy, you're going into deep, muddy waters because the Airbnb model has been untested in a down market. And I do have issues with the whole Airbnb thing.
We'll break it down. Watch it on Friday, Rick and
but
Zach
amazing
and
opportunities because going forward, usually after these resets, whatever you want to call them, you're going to get probably a 3 to 7 year run.
Is it scary we're the only wholesaling channel talking about this?
It's crazy.
And
like everything's like, oh, everything's great. It's like, listen, I'm telling you, the low income housing, it's always going to move, guys. Like it's going to move fast. I'm talking about like a little bit of the higher stuff.
We're selling a deal. FYI, if I really want to cherry pick, we're selling a deal right now in Port St. Lucie. Sell next week or the week after. We're making like $75K on the deal. I go tell you everything's perfect because we're selling it for how much over like 15, 20K over asking. Like I could tell you everything's rosy. Goes that, of course, we're gonna pick up our 75K check. We're gonna take it, but like
I know it's going down.
We know what's going on. I can go tell you that and then spin it any way which we want. That's the truth. FYI for everyone, we are pretty much the only. There's a couple, but I would say basically the only wholesaling real estate channel that goes live that has dealt with a real estate crash. I'm pretty
and
much
actually still does this
and
business.
still does this business.
We don't
So,
run like a coaching model to like make millions on
not
the
just
side
that.
of it.
We're
like,
the only people go live about wholesaling real estate. It's been through a crash that actually runs a legit operation.
and
only
you
one.
get the truth with it, man. Like
So-
it's honestly, when I'm not taking your money, I feel obligated to give you the truth. And what was that famous? What was that famous? You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, that's the so guys.
I think you guys can handle the truth. It's
Yeah.
just the truth, man. Like you got to
we're
know.
giving you the truth.
But the good news is there's tons of opportunity in this market. You've got to understand the average American has no idea what's about to hit them. We're all feeling the gas. That's going to push on everything. If you guys go to get groceries, it's painful. And you're talking about like some of you can afford it, but for the average person, they're just trying to get by. They're getting frustrated. They typically bought a home because they had to overpay for it. And now if they lose their job, man, it's like horrendous.
Yeah,
dude.
guys, we're doing our breakdowns on it. Don't be worried about it. You just got to shift the way you're doing things. It's got it. So guys, telling you right now, let's get it. So let's
go.
Let's do some one-on-one calls right now. Not here to scare you. This is an opportunity. If you stick to the stuff that works, you're going to have more pre-foreclosures than you know what to do with. And the cool part is you're going to get more. This is weird because it's a different shift because you're going to get more deals than you know what to do with. You're going to have to work harder on the cash buyers. Honestly, if you got the team and you know how to do it right way, watch us. You're going to be fine. So quick question I got. Let's see here. All right. CJ, did you close the deal yesterday?
Got it done today.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. So met with them this morning. Locked it up. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen every situation, but it feels like the craziest thing happened, and I think it's to my favor. The way that I'm reading it is a house right across the street that just got listed literally 3 hours after I put mine under contract for a little bit more than what I actually put mine under contract for. That house needs probably, I'd say, 10,000 to 15,000 more in demo just to bring it to kind of where it needs to get renovated. And ours is totally bare bones, but I'm looking at it as there's already an offer on that property above ask. So it kind of like sets the baseline for our marketing. It's like this property across the street just got put under contract, or not put under contract,
Beautiful.
just got listed and already is getting offers at, I mean, I think it's looking like already 10,000 more than what we put ours under contract for. And we have an additional bathroom. So we have one more bathroom. Ours is a 3-2. That's a 3-1. So I think we're going to be able to get this done pretty easily. Now, here's the caveat. We only have 10 days for the inspection, close July 5th.
You know what that means, right?
Got to get working.
Getting your butts to work, right?
That's right.
You have a lockbox on the house?
So it didn't need it. I can go at any time. The lock
Beautiful.
is not, so it's not a problem. But
Got
yeah,
it.
no,
So-
we put it under contract. Oh man, one of the parties was in a different state, so we had to send it to get DocuSigned for the deed, or because both of the people on the deed. That was like the most nerve-wracking situation ever. I'm like, oh, is he gonna pull out last minute? Because there was a lot of problems, but we got it done. Now it's time to kick it through. We don't want to be greedy with it. We're just trying to kind of move it to learn. So I figure even if I lose, there's no way that I would. I mean, I don't want to say that, but if for some reason I lost my earnest money deposit on it, I just think of it as a learning experience.
How
I
much
didn't
is the
put
EMD?
$300. So that's like paying tuition to go learn something.
You'll get it back but
Yeah.
So how much you got it under contract for? Don't give me the address, just the dollar amount.
We got it under contract for 1,455,
145.
Okay. And what do you think? What do you think you can get a contract for it?
I mean, I'd say minimum 165.
Okay. So just
get to work.
don't let that. Some people wait till like the 9th day. They go, we should probably find a cash buyer. Just work it sooner or later because you got more buyers right now. The eventually the mentality is going to shift. So like
not all the way. Like this deal, if real estate goes down, you would have locked it up for 125.
yeah, it's not,
And then you would have found a buyer. So like prices would have gone down. So even in a weird market, you still make money on that. So I'm telling you, you just get your butt to work. You know, you're gonna have to probably find a flipper, which is pretty easy to do. Use PropStream, find cash sales, just get to work. But yeah, you need to be calling like now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're still marketing too for
Facebook
want to
groups.
keep the pipeline full. So we're working
Divide and
on
conquer, you two.
doing this, and then we're keeping moving on some other avenues as well.
All right, don't stop.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you utilize
we
all
love
10
everything
days.
you guys have taught us.
Yeah. And as time goes by, the market gets softer. Just try to extend some of, you should get more leniency on your inspection times because it's going to take a little bit longer to get buyers.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the lower end stuff's not going to be as affected as much as you guys think it is because people always move fast on it. When you get to the median price and higher, it's always the luxury real estate, the condos that's going to get crushed first, and then it'll trickle down. But the prices in America have gotten crazy on houses. So like the lower end stuff, it's always going to move. Like you're not going to get $50,000 houses now for $30,000. I don't see that changing. So
No, so just FYI, you need to talk to 20 cash buyers a day minimum through this weekend.
Okay.
20.
and you just get ready for like the BS radar detector because it's out of control.
Oh yeah.
And the last most important part, Brooklyn CJ, do not give the price. Don't give the address
Mm-hmm.
without getting that proof of funds and then being okay with an assignment of contract.
Right.
Okay.
No address.
So if they go, what's an assignment of contract? It's probably not going to be
Probably not.
you don't have enough time to like walk them through it.
Right.
They get nervous and freaked out. Somebody usually has to buy a deal or two that way and be comfortable with it. If you have someone's like, listen, if you just explain it to me, I'm fine with it. Involve your title company because let them explain it. It's easier for them to explain it and it will create trust with them.
Right.
But you don't want to coach someone how an assignment works on a beginning deal because they think you're scamming them and they'll tie you up for like 5 days and you don't have time for that. So you got to experience buying a deal with an assignment. Just simple yes or no is one of your qualifying questions.
But go after it. You got this.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah.
You did the hardest part. Now you just got to finish it.
Yeah.
We're gonna let you guys know how we fare.
Wait, say again?
So we're gonna let you guys know how we make out.
I'm ready.
No,
Let's
definitely.
get it.
We're waiting, man.
Get to work.
It's a good month for it too.
Yeah.
Get off the phone.
Appreciate you
Start
guys.
calling buyers.
Okay, guys.
Have a great one.
Congrats. Keep it
Bye,
going.
thank you.
Last thing, everyone on Facebook is fake. Most of them are fake. So just FYI,
Yeah.
you're gonna if it's a Facebook buyer, be very careful. If you're calling cash sales, it's a little more leeway. All right.
Okay.
We're getting
And-
a lot of spam. We're weeding them
Yeah.
out.
And I need somebody to call the 4 rents in that
Alright.
zip code. All right.
Okay.
How you doing?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Say, man.
Got their first contract.
That's good, man.
Come on.
It's a good month.
Come on. Let's go.
Guys, like there's no difference between me, CJ, Brooklyn, and you. The only difference is the people that take action and their conviction gets so strong. Like I'm just going to work my way through it.
That's
So-
beautiful. I love it. Next up, we got Darwin.
Hello. How are you
How's
guys?
it going?
What's up, Darren?
So, well, thank you guys for all you do. And I recently started driving for dollars in one of my the area. I already script traced about like 100 of those addresses, and I'm just finding it difficult whenever I'm using True. What was it?
True People Search.
TruePeopleSearch.com. It shows like lots of numbers on it. Like there's so many people on it, and I'm not really sure which one to go with.
Call them.
Or should I just like call
You gotta call 'em to know.
every?
That's
Yeah.
how skip tracing works.
You just got to
Okay.
rip through it, dude.
That's it.
Unfortunately, it's data, and the idea is the more data you got, the better your opportunity. But you just got to call them, and
Yeah.
maybe you recognize a pattern and figure out, okay, the first number is usually the best, second, third, so on. So it just
Yeah.
depends on which service you use.
I was just looking to like mostly like last names, like family. I would say like I was trying to compare them. to just like jot them down and put in like the wireless phone numbers more towards the landline ones. And
Jarwin, you got to call them and figure it out.
You just got to call. You're
overcomplicating it,
you're
man.
analyzing it. Just do it.
okay, I have another question. When it comes to like the contract, I'm in Texas. I already have my check contract already in place. Like I already know what to place in it. But regarding the assignment of contract, am I able to utilize your guys' contract or?
Ask your title company which one.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look into that then. But other than that, I mean, that'll be all. I just need to get on it, like you said, start calling.
Oh yeah,
But, yeah.
that's it, man.
All right, thank you.
No worries. Oh, awesome. All right, next here we got. Let's see, Yo, what is up?
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going? How can we help you out today?
Okay, so I found this property. I skip traced it, and apparently it's been vacant for years, so it's a probate. Both the owners are dead. So I went to the court today, and they said they could not find any probate cases or wills for these two owners. So I guess it said I'm at a loss right now. I don't know what to do beyond that point.
Title.
Say it again.
So you can't find the wills?
No, there is no will from they can only find the will for one person, but it's one of the owners. But I mean, there was no list of heirs that I could find. So
Gotta go through probate.
Right. Well, most likely somebody passed away and nobody's opened up a probate. So what I would do is talk to the neighbors and see who was the last person in charge of the house.
Yeah.
Usually someone's taking care of it. Number two, are they taking care of the house at all?
no.
Is somebody like mowing the lawn or moving the snow or picking up the
No.
mail?
Nothing.
Okay. Do you have any idea how long it's been vacant for?
Since I believe 2007.
Yeah. That's going to be a challenging one. I mean, the thing is, if they don't open a probate and you can't find out who, like, the only thing left to do is try to find an heir. Did you see if the taxes are paid on the property?
I didn't see that. But
Okay.
I didn't even see a relative list either. No relative either.
Well, the only way you can try to skip trace their name and see if any errors pop up or like any other phone numbers. Dude,
Right.
2007 was at 13. That's a house vacant 16 years.
Yeah.
Right.
There's probably a bigger issue that you're probably not going to be over. I probably wouldn't spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
If you don't have an error or something like that, you just have a suspect house.
Throw a sticky note on that thing.
Throw a sticky note on it. Maybe stick a sign in there and put like
Yeah.
an urgent package, and try to talk to the neighbors and get some information. But man, 15, 16-year abandoned house, like those are borderline. You just got to knock them down because they can only sit so long without like TLC. So if they didn't open a probate, there's only so much you can do. Just to give you an example of this, like when I first did real estate, I would have people, everybody wants to give me a list of properties. Guys, driving for dollars, getting a list is awesome. That point, the house is highly motivated, but the problem is you can't find a seller to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
I would research and see if the taxes are being paid. If the taxes are being paid by an individual, meaning there's not a tax certificate, somebody is in charge of that property. And so, but if the taxes are not being paid, typically when the taxes aren't paid after 2 years, the house winds up in foreclosure. So I don't know, but like there's some properties you don't like. There's just only so much you can do. I get people all the time and go, "Hey Rick, I got these 5 houses. They look like a good fit."
Right.
You know what I say to every one of them? What did the owner say? Oh, I didn't talk to the owner. I'm like, the money, the driving for dollars points you in the direction, but connecting with the seller or the heir or whoever it is where the gold is in wholesaling. So you're pointing in the right direction, but you're probably not the first guy or gal to cross this bridge on that property.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
crazy. I've never 16 years is a long time, man.
Ugh.
That would be like, and what state are you in?
This house is in Maryland, PG County.
Yeah, between like snow drifts and like all that other stuff. I don't know, I'm not like frozen pipes, and I don't know if all that stuff, but
And another weird
honestly,
thing.
talk to the
Say again?
neighbors, look up the taxes, and if you can't connect, I would just go on and like find another deal. That's got 16 years, man. Imagine the amount of wholesalers that have looked at that property, people driving for dollars. It's absolutely crazy. How'd you find that lead?
I actually drove past it. That's
Yeah.
all I was
So I
bored
mean,
about
it's a
it.
good fit,
Yeah.
but sometimes houses are motivated, but the seller's not.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that one with like 2 deceased people that were on the deed, unless you can find a family member, like until it goes to auction, there's nothing you do. And an auction's not the way you want to buy that. It goes to the
Right.
highest bidder. You don't want to be the highest bidder. So
Okay. And
keep
another
keep
thing.
trucking along.
Okay. I went to the probate office today. They wasn't giving out lists anymore because they said of COVID or something like that. So I don't know if I should like dig deeper or maybe ask somebody
Speak
else.
to the manager. You know the drill.
Yeah.
Okay.
They still keep it going, dude.
Look
They
at the
have to.
public records on your county too.
That is, I cannot. They don't have access to the probates online. I have to go up there in person for that.
What county?
PG.
Okay, well, I'll look it up, but yeah, okay. I'm just probably going online and try to see if you can find the number and call them, or just go in person. It's usually somewhere online though.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for me. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Have a good one.
See ya.
Boom. All right. Next we got Adam.
Hey, Rick. Hey, Zach. Can you guys hear me?
What's
What's up?
Adam?
Okay, so I'm the Hair Trigger Gaming. I used to stream Call of Duty, and I forgot to change my name. So I'm actually in New York.
Okay.
I'm one of the extreme cases, I would say. I have no money to invest. I just had a nasty breakup and a bunch of personal stuff happened, so all my money is gone. And I'm trying to make a vicious comeback. I've been watching and following. I kind of was confused about the lawyer thing because I thought like I had to use a closing or a title company and a lawyer, but I just heard Zach answer the question and said that I
Well,
want.
you can have an attorney close with. It depends on the state. You can do it both ways there.
Okay,
Back
so
law for you there.
I can either use a title company and an attorney, or I can use just an attorney in New York.
I'm going to say this the way my lawyer makes me say it. Speak to a lawyer and see what they say.
Okay.
You just want to make
I can't.
sure.
I'm not going to give you law advice.
Yeah. So with 50 states, 3,600 counties, you're going to have to figure out like the basics to make sure you're operating correctly. So the 2 things we always tell you is, review it with a title company that you want to work in the market you're in, and then run it by attorney. I'm not telling you have to go out and pay an attorney. Sometimes you can get one within a title company. And as long as you have very direct questions and you don't waste their time, they'll usually answer them for you. But to pay an attorney $500 to sit down and ask like 3 questions is ridiculous.
You basically, yeah, like I said, you can kind of do it both ways in New York, and you can technically get an attorney to do it for you, but attorneys are at title companies, so you can find an attorney at a title company or attorney do it. You're gonna have to research your own for your own state though.
You don't have the money to pay for an attorney right
Yeah.
now, but like you need to get a consensus like what you can and cannot do in your state to make sure you don't get in hot water. And don't take my word for it, his word for it, or anybody else's. I always tell you, at the end of the day, you're the one responsible when you write them. So that's why we put that disclosure out there.
Absolutely.
You can get that information. Like people are like, oh, I got to pay an attorney $500. I go, honestly, you're going to spend 5 minutes of your time with them. Like, you got to tease them and try to do business with them and reward them if they helped you out. Like that's how business works. Doesn't matter what industry you're in.
Absolutely.
But,
speaking of the disclosure too, I was just watching your contract video, Rick, and the 30
Yeah.
days. And I'm the dummy that made 20 copies of the contract and forgot to delete the disclosure at the beginning. So I had,
that's okay. All right.
to print all
Get rid of
the.
it.
So
Yeah, you fix that.
You live
So
and you
it's-
learn.
That's part of like when we teach them out, there's like certain things I can't do everything for you, but it's that's fine. You just fix it and kind of move on. Remember, Adam, your job is to connect with motivated sellers.
that's
and just that's it. That's the skill set. People complicate the heck out of wholesaling. I got to know exact valuations. I got to know how to do probates. Honestly, If you can just focus on locating and connecting with them, the other stuff you'll figure it out as you go, because it's not like school where you got to spend your entire life trying to learn theory and then go out in the real world to figure out how to do it. We're going to do it backwards with you. I'm just telling you. Like, I hear what you're saying. How old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay. So you're young, dude. Trust me, you're young. Yeah. I started this business at 33. I built it up. I made huge mistakes. The market crashed. I just started over. And you know what? When I started over, I just went back to the basics. I connected with motivated sellers. I had a good conversation with them and I helped them out. And if you do that, this business is really not that hard. Is there going to be struggles? Yeah, dude. I haven't met anyone that did wholesaling that was like, oh, that was the easiest thing I ever did in my life. That's why we talk about your belief system, your conviction, and your confidence. So you like talking to people, Adam?
I'm really good with people. I'm not
no,
shocked.
If you're good with people, I'm just telling you, just get your first deal to kind of get your wings under you, get a little bit of money to get like safe, like the rent's paid, the groceries are paid, this crazy gas bill's paid. And then just keep investing in yourself as you go. And a lot of people go, Rick, what do you mean by investing in yourself? That's your decision. Invest whatever makes you confident and better. Like a lot of times it's just reading books, and consuming. Instead of watching 3 hours of TV, go on YouTube and find 3 hours of content that is suitable for you in your industry and what you want to do. And
well, Zach got me to read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I just finished Rich Dad.
Beautiful.
And
I mean,
love it.
You can go endless. Like, so you guys, they call it a program. Man. You guys got to decide what goes in your mind. We're all so set in doing things away. You're 38. I go do anything to go back in like time with you. So you're super young. Honest. Here's the secret, guys. It only takes 2 years to become super wealthy in real estate. That's all it takes. Yeah. You've seen it outside of me and Zach. Look around. If someone applies himself in 2 years, it's like a game changer. It's unbelievable what people. I have people I've taught for free on this channel 8 months ago. They're like, "Oh my God, I didn't know you could do all this stuff." I go, "Dude, you're only broke 8 months ago." So rich. Most people don't understand is you have to fix your mindset. That's the biggest challenge you have in wholesaling. Is actually easy. It's your mindset and just like understanding. Like me and Zach teach the 20% rule. It's where like being wealthy and rich is how much you make and how much you spend, and the wider you can make that gap, the better off you'll do in life. But there's a lot of people who make a lot of money, but they spend just as much. And it took me a while to figure that one out, dude. Like it's like
that's over liabilities.
Yeah. So it's just what else can we help you out with on that? So that's kind of like a legal specific thing.
I pretty much wrote a book with all the notes I've taken off of you guys' videos. I've watched your entire program once through, and I'm going through it again now. But I paused to do the 30-day program stuff, and I'm in the 30-day program or 30-day challenge. So
I just saved you 5 years of misery, and I don't say I'm literally telling you, Adam. Yeah, I've saved you 5 years of pure hell.
That's what
I had to figure it out all on my own. So it's like
you don't sugarcoat. You're not all nice and sweet. The first time I watched that, I was like, "Wow, this guy's kind of like snarky,
a little raw." Yeah.
Like no, he's just real. He's just being honest, and
that is. And so that's one of our biggest secrets to our success is if you're authentic and true to yourself, you don't have to sit there and like, you know how hard it is to come on here and like act and like get people do hair and makeup for like YouTube and like all this other stuff. It's like, I don't have time for it. Like he definitely flies his hair around. He's got a lot more of it than I am. I have short hair and gray hair. I'm just like, just be true and authentic. And it's like the easiest way not to lie is don't lie, because then you don't have to keep track of the lies and it's a lot less stressful in life. So I love wholesaling because you can pick and choose who you want to work with. To me, it's the easiest way to get out of any financial like poverty situation. You just have to be disciplined, and I can't make the phone calls for you. Zach's not going to make them. And if you can take the actions, you'll be rewarded. That's the biggest fundamental difference between people that are having success with how work with us or really work with anyone. Are you going to take the action? Like I love one of the callers before. It's like, that's great. We have an address. You got to contact the seller. Give me 10 addresses. That's great. It's like a compass, but the hard work is in calling them and connecting with these people. So it sounds like you're really good at talking to people. So I would just keep expanding on it and just go on the freewholesaling.com, figure out how to operate legally in your state. And dude,
biggest hurdle is that living in New York and the fact that I'm in a tiny town, and I mean tiny. But I did pull my probates, fire codes. I have all those. I made a spreadsheet like Zach said too, and I've got it loaded up with like 30 or 40 just in my area. I just wanted to figure out the lawyer title company thing before I started calling these people and trying to make
See if you can JV with someone who has money.
Yeah, see, that's
that too.
I don't know one person that I could call
How
right
big's your county?
and borrow $5 from.
How big's your county? Population.
Let me
Statistically, right?
Yeah.
95,840.
There's definitely probably a wholesaler in your county. Go on Facebook and try to find them, post, and then work with them. Even be a bird dog for them if you have to.
Okay, and I got you guys' JV link too. I wrote that down when you said it. So,
and if you do an hour radius around you, I guarantee there's a wholesaler that would JV with you. If you bring in the deal, they'll probably split it with you. So,
dude, I did one of my first deals before I did like bird dog. I didn't even know what I was doing.
So
like I talked to people.
You got to eliminate the excuses. There's always a solution.
Yeah, you got it. But just make sure you take care of yourself first, and then work your way up. Like I've had people do a couple $1,000s on their first deal because that's what they needed to pay their rent.
Yeah.
And so like you just kind of keep moving up and graduate. Like I was terrible in my first 3 deals. I don't even know how I survived the business.
Oh
But that's it. I'm just telling you, like I'm no different than anybody else on watching the stream. You just kind of keep picking through. Back to being in New York, it's a little bit more challenging, but here's how I look at it. You got more people to talk to. Like
I agree.
Everybody either owns a piece of real estate or they rent it. And if you look at it like that, you start having conversations with people. I've already told you, people are going to get laid off. Like in New York's no exception.
Yeah,
people are not going to be able to pay their rents. They're not going to be able to do their mortgages. And that's where you're going to find some opportunities. So get out there.
The average home sale in my area is under $100,000. It's like $80,000.
Go after it, man.
95,000. That's like a dream population. We deal with like really small populations.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I was thinking
you
you're gonna
got
say
this.
like 5,000, but
oh
like
yeah,
95,000. Dude, that's a dream.
That's fine. And then you got an hour radius wherever you drive. You're fine.
All right, I can't wait.
Okay, you got it, Adam.
Fine, thank you.
Thanks. All right, really quick. I came from zero.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
Still getting his hair done.
Yeah, I apologize. So just super quick, let me walk you guys.
I didn't get my hair done for this.
So I went to an appointment this morning. I had called a seller for a property I had skip traced, but he actually is kind of like waiting on that one, and he offered me another one that he's interested in selling. The ARV is about 154.
Okay.
He said he wanted 130. I set up the appointment. I went there this morning. Talk to him. There's about $15,000 work that needs to be done over there. Originally, I tried to do the bad cop, good cop situation. I said, man, I don't know, man. My partner he's looking at 105. Can we work something out? And he's like, man, no, that's too low. He already has an offer for 130, but that person has not seen the property. And then he mentioned that he also has another person who offered him 125. So then I'm thinking like what you said with Brooklyn and CJ yesterday, where if the lowest that they offer, just go ahead and get it done. So the property does have tenants at the same time, and I was just like, hey, if we keep the tenants in there, would you be willing to go down to about 120? And he's like, let me go ahead and think about it. As soon as I leave to drive off from the appointment, he calls me. He's like, hey, actually for that 120, I'm willing to go ahead and do that. But I feel like that's not really a good number.
It's not, dude.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's do the math. What is my formula? I tell everybody. Do you know it?
Yeah. Repairs times, if it's over 120, do 83%.
ARV minus repairs multiplied by 83%, right?
Yeah.
I just shared my screen. I was doing this while you were talking. All right. 145 times 83% is 20,000. That's your MAO.
120.
120.
Yeah.
So 125 ain't gonna work. Okay, 120. He said those offers because he's BSing you, and he is using you.
Yeah, they would have taken it if it was a real.
So my offer, my highest would be 105, 110.
That's what I'm trying to get. So what I was kind of asking you guys is how can I go ahead and counter with
Here's my counter. You know what? 125 actually seems that's way higher than I would do it. You should go with them.
Okay.
Guess what? They're gonna say, okay, fine. Ha, got you. Guy comes to the house, says, I'll give you 90. And then he says, get out of my face. And then he comes back to you.
It just puts you in a stronger
Yeah.
position to negotiate. Like, you can't take down every deal, but like, wouldn't you rather get the right price so you can easily sell it?
120 is your MAO.
You put it, if you get stuck at 120 and there's a bad non-paying tenant, you got to deal with all that crap. And it's like there's got to be a reward for the risk you're going to take. So unless you already have a buyer lined up and it's a guaranteed lock. So say you had a buyer already lined up 130, like he's ready to go, and you do 120, then I might just take the 120 because a bird in hand's better than like, you don't know what's going to happen down the road. If you don't have a buyer in hand, you're not ready. I don't know, dude. Like,
Burn hand's better than two in a bush, right?
something like that. It just,
Yeah, that's what it is. So it's
I can't stand when they use other buyers. So and so made all like.
I will
then why
always
are-
have an offer.
I always say, then why are we talking? Like,
Yeah. And both
it
of them
doesn't-
haven't even seen the property either. So
yeah, no,
Yeah,
they're
so
gonna
why
have
you-
the same issues you do.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you have to stay true to yourself on here. This is not the time to be overpaying on properties
You
like this.
can't overpay, man.
Here's the problem. You have full permission to overpay on houses. The truth is you do 4 or 5 of them, you're saying I'm never doing this again. It's either you hear from my pain and you do something about it, or you have to go through the experience yourself and deal with it, right? That's my opinion. You have my formula and you did it. You should have seen it was 120.
yeah, like I said, I originally I told you I said I used the bad cop to say like we're looking at 105, and
Yeah.
but then I remember when you spoke with CJ yesterday, you were like, hey, if the lowest just trying to contract. I didn't send the contract yet too, so it's like that's why I wanted to speak to you guys first before.
Dude, you can't bat 100, man. Right? You don't make every shot. Hey, you had your best chance, right?
And you're leaving room to revisit. The other people probably aren't going to pay for that.
Yeah,
Like,
they're not. Even if they
and
lock
so
it
if
up,
they offer him 100 and you come back at like 110, you look like a hero. Not that I want you to
And
pay
one-
110, but
120 is pushing it on the MAO also.
you're-
That's
you're-
pushing it.
You're pushing it. Like that was
15 man on a repair. I don't see many properties at 15K on a repair.
Is that
Usually-
a true number?
That true 15?
It's an estimate, like on a high end, to be honest. There's nothing really major that needs to be done. Just a lot of small stuff. Like I'm still pretty new, so
Yeah. So like, if 120, man, be at least 110. Like, I'd rather try to push at least 110. So you were smart here. Partner at 105. He was at a crazy price.
Yeah, 130.
110 works. Like, that's where I'm at. And hey, sometimes you gotta walk away, right? You can't fix crazy, bro.
Yeah,
You just can't.
And going forward, this market, the cash buyers are going to be less and less to overpay on these properties to a point.
Yeah. The cool part about this is you just follow the guy up. He is not going to lock up a deal for 125 or 130. It'll get.
He would have done it if
He
he
would've
already
done
had
it.
it. So
Just
he
keep
doesn't
following
have
up.
it.
I have so many deals like this. I just got to keep following up with that same seller who's nuts, and they finally go with me. Do it.
Just stay connected with them and go, listen, I get it. If you can get a better price for it, I'm all for it. But what happens is when all these buyers start falling through, or if one puts it under contract and gets out after a week or two inspection, it gets that much better for you in the long run, dude. It's like, and I always ask them, like, when they come back to you, they call me and go, what happened? Like, yeah, that buyer didn't work out like he said he was going to. I'm like, I don't say it's not going to work out, but I already know if they're going to pay that guy like 125, 130.
Yeah.
I just want to leave the door open and just say, listen, at least I was honest with you, right? I didn't give you a pie in the sky. Like, if I'm going to write a contract and know I can't close on it, then I'm wasting your time. So I'm being honest with you. I'm not always going to be your highest offer, but I promise you I'll be your best offer. And that's the line you got. Remember, we are not in the business of paying the highest price. Go see the creative finance guys. I don't do that. Like, I don't care if you get a deal creative financing, you're still paying the higher price and you'll have to sell it one day to see if you actually made a profit. On these deals, you never want to be the highest bidder. We are not. That's called MLS. You want to be a realtor if you want to do that. We are not in that business. But we are always, the biggest thing you can be trained is to be the best offer for them. House has issues. He's got bad tenants. I'm offering a solution that fixes all that, and it's all said and done. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market right now. And you say, listen, I can close this deal. If you can provide motivated sellers with certainty, guys, you will do amazing things. I'm just telling you, the certainty is going to get worse and worse each month. You guys have to be certain. I'm telling you, your sellers are contacting you or reaching out to you because they are uncertain.
Just two more questions real quick.
Go ahead.
Do you guys recommend calling or texting?
Call.
Calling.
Well, a text always has to be converted to a call. So
Okay.
a text is just a form to reach out people on like a mass scale.
Uh-huh.
But we've very few deals you close strictly on text. So if you can bypass the text and go straight to it, just call them.
Okay. And then on the formula that you did, Zach, I saw you said 145. Why'd you put 145? Just curious.
You said what we said the ARV was?
154.
Oh,
I thought it was 160.
You got dyslexia.
Yeah. 154 minus 15
Yeah.
is 139. My bad. You make yourself look bad. Now it's 115. I just did quick math. I thought it was 160. All right.
Okay. I was just curious. I was just trying to see. Okay.
115.
Listen,
Then
regardless, you still want to get the best
Now your
price
MA is
possible.
115, right? So it's like,
You're not far off, but
yeah,
honestly, when people dangle the other like cash buyer, they'll pay
I don't
more.
even care. I just say go with it.
Do it.
I always
Like,
say do it.
You can't. You have to. It's poker, and you're not really bluffing. Like if these guys are so confident, they would already close the deal, right? They would be locked up. They'd have an EMD, and it'd be done. They made him a lower offer, and he's trying to use your number against them if he has anybody else. So,
okay, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Keep it up, man. Boom. All right, guys. So that is it for today. That is Acquisitions 101. If you are in the calls in the back, talk to Rick. Remember, first come, first serve. Whoever comes in first, you talk to us. And that's it. So, guys, hop on tomorrow. And then
same time, same place.
And then we are going to be on a plane traveling. So we will be live tomorrow. And then our next live will be next Friday. So crazy. We're traveling around.
Yeah, you guys got videos done for your June challenge.
Yeah. So we're breaking down educational videos for the challenge on here. And then also Zach Ginn channel, Rick Ginn channel, exclusive content going on. You're going to see some cool we don't like to announce where we're going to for the traveling, but wherever we're there, we're going to record some cool content there. So it'll be cool. You'll see some of those videos in the future. But yeah, guys. So live tomorrow. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Tomorrow's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a fun one. So, guys, go to the Rick Ginn channel, Zach Ginn channel. Wholesaling House is for real. We're talking all about building rapport tomorrow. So appreciate it, guys. Smash